Today we're going back in time a bit here, playing a classic title that I have made videos about before here, and it's a game that I have enjoyed throughout the years, and it's of course Dirty Bomb that I'm thinking about. A free-to-play shooter that was made by Splash Damage, and it was released on Steam in 2015, so it's about roughly 10 years old, you can say. But in 2019, the devs decided not to support the game any longer, and many players, of course, when it comes to the community around Dirty Bomb, feared that the game would now become completely abandoned and dead. But thanks to creative forces, if you will, there's still some community servers that has been, since 2019, been up and running, making it possible to still play the game. The thing though is that I am one of those that have continuously played it, but not on a regular basis, that I know that maybe some of you guys watching this video have been doing. You guys are heroes, making this game still a possibility to play, because I still think that Dirty Bomb is definitely one of the best, or maybe the best free-to-play shooter that has ever been made. That's how far I would go to describe it. Because this is a fast-paced movement shooter, but also a competitive shooter in so many ways, with fun, objective game modes and very team-based gameplay regarding the characters in the game that are called mercenaries. And their different, you might say, abilities, or at least characteristics. Quite cool characters, by the way. I think they also nailed it when it comes to design of many of these mercenaries, as said. I also like most of the maps. They play really well for many of the game modes available. And even though I don't play it, as said, on a regular basis and not all the time, and the game is old, and as said, it's dead, well, it's just negative sayings right there. Even so, I want to talk about Dirty Bomb a bit also here in 2025, because I just think it's a really good game. You might be someone that has played the game and also have a bit of nostalgia, as I have. But beside those feelings when it comes to nostalgia, which can be a really strong one, you know, memories from before, maybe you were studying when you were playing this game with friends, you had a good time coming home from school, playing it and just grinding together with some pals and having a good game or two. Or something else that might be connected to the game. A certain time in your life that was special. What do I know? For me, this was also a game I played with friends. And as said, due to its kind of competitive nature, I had a lot of fun. Also kind of introduced me to other competitive games such as Counter-Strike as well, and similar games. But anyhow, the game has a kind of a goofy thing going on, but at the same time, really good gunplay, gameplay. And as said, the mercenaries are there and everything. Then the question might arise, is it worth playing now? I mean, it's 2025, it's around 10 years later since it was released. And I have to say, even though it hurts my heart, even though these gentlemen, I must say, that are keeping the game alive, there's not many servers that are active. It depends, of course, on what day you play and what time you play during the day, but it's not many people right now keeping this game somewhat alive, at least, on some special aid or something. With that said, it's hard for me to say, yeah, go ahead and play Dirty Bomb. You're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be easy to get into games, and there's a lot of people playing, because that's not the case, of course. But if you're like me, an old school gamer, someone that has enjoyed these kind of shooters that still rewards gameplay, or good gameplay, gunplay, then it might be something to check out also now, even if the game is dead. It's really up to you. It's not really a progression to strive for or anything, as said, since there's no official support. But you will definitely, at least from my experience and my opinion here and now, get into a game that tickles the nerve, at least for me, when it comes to playing a somewhat fun and competitive game at the same time in 2025. How long will this last? I don't know. I thought the game, to be honest, would see its final days maybe a few years ago already, but I'm happy that I was wrong, and here we are now. You see, I miss this game. I miss a game like Dirty Bomb. I can't really find it now when it comes to modern shooters. Sure, there's definitely good games to play. Right now, I'm also enjoying Battlefield 6, for example. I'm happy that they were able to make a interesting Battlefield title again. That's good for everyone. Because again, also, we need different games. We need different developers making different games. Of course, also in the same genre, so we get competition, because that pushes the limits forward. And the development, by doing so, will become better. What is good or bad is, of course, a very subjective thing. But I think, at least from my perspective, being someone that has played shooters for many, many years, I can see that the development nowadays is more towards the advanced movement overall. A lot of games that wasn't like pure movement shooters are today more movement shooters. I'm thinking about, for example, Call of Duty. That was boots on the ground to start with. Dirty Bomb never was that. It is advanced movement in many ways. If you become good at that in this game, you can definitely dominate. But my saying is this, even so, in Dirty Bomb, it does reward good gameplay and good placing and good aim and all that stuff. And that is something I sometimes miss a lot when it comes to modern games. I'm mainly referring to games, more classic FPS games where you're playing like 5v5 or 6v6, maybe arena shooters if you will. Anywho, with that said, Dirty Bomb is a pleasure to get back to, that I have to say, and I would love to hear from you what you think about this classic shooter. At least it's a classic shooter for me. I know that a lot of people don't even know about this game or haven't really played it. I'm sorry to hear that because I think you missed out on something. But again, we can't play them all, can we now? Is it a game for everyone? No, I guess it's not. Coming back to the game or getting into the game as a new player now is a hard thing to do if you aren't someone that are used to play or maybe even good at playing FPS games. Because my experience when it comes to getting back to some of the older games, also free-to-play titles, especially when we have a smaller, player base, is that people that are playing are still playing it quite intensely, at least some of them, and that means that they're really good at the game. I don't want to frighten you away, but I want to say how it is. This is not a super casual game. It might look so, it might look as a very casual game, but it is and has a competitive nature, and that's what I like about it. But even so, thanks a lot for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you may take the chance to check it out, even though, as said, not many people are keeping it alive right now, and I'm not sure how long it will be able to actually stay up there. But I'm happy to see that even so, towards the end here soon, when it comes to 2025, there are still people here keeping it up and having a good time playing Dirty Bomb. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care now. Later.